Up next, cruiserweight competition, as three top are WL cruiserweights, SP1 Scotty Priest, lightning fast Tony Dangerous, and cruiserweight champ Gary Galaxy do battle in a non-title three-way matchup.
And I'll probably catch a heart attack trying to call it.
This next match is a three-way match set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Statinopolis, weighing 198 pounds, here is the lightning-fast Tony Dangerous.
Given the current popularity of Superman and the Fantastic Four in multiplexes everywhere, I've got a good feeling about the defender of Statinopolis, lightning-fast Tony Dangerous. This former cruiserweight and Snarl TV champ would like very much to reclaim at least the RWL cruiserweight belt away from Gary Galaxy, and boy howdy, their rivalry goes back quite a ways, so bank on Tony targeting Galaxy hot and heavy. But he's also got another rival involved in Scotty Priest.
From Glen Burnie, Maryland, weighing 195 pounds, SP1 Scotty Priest. Scotty Priest, like Tony, at one point also held both the Cruiserweight and Snarl TV titles at the same time, but hasn't held gold for a while now, and is no less driven to regain some back for himself. All three of these guys move fast and hit hard, and in this three-way scenario, there's no DQ, no countouts, so expect a little extra touch of violence between these three heated rivals. And from Chesapeake, Virginia, weighing 187 pounds, the RWL Cruiserweight Champion, the prototype, Gary Galaxy.
Another jewel in the crown of your Ginchy girlfriend, Sylvia Strong, Johnny. The prototype Gary Galaxy has held on to that cruiserweight title with both hands and all 10 toes, and I don't see him giving that up to nobody anytime soon. This is a non-title match, of course, but a win over Gary Galaxy by either Priest or Tony Dangerous is going to carry a hell of a lot of weight moving forward.
Picking a winner here, very, very tough to call, although I'm still partial to the lightning fast one. But Gary, of course, is the reigning champ, and always likely to claim a pin or tap out for himself. Out of the three, I'd credit Priest with likely being the most aggressive of the three, so he's not an outlier here either. Guess we'll know more once the smoke clears after the final bell.
All right, three opponents, no countouts, no disqualifications, no fooling. This ought to be good. Willie Johnson sounds the bell. And here we go. SP1 goes after Tony. Tony goes behind on him. Priest counters with elbows to the midsection of Tony Dangerous. Gary Galaxy goes behind, jumping neckbreaker on SP1. Scotty Priest catches a clubbing overhand right from the prototype. Prototype nails Tony Dangerous with the right. SP1 off the ropes with a bulldog on Gary Galaxy. Gary Galaxy caught by Tony Dangerous, catches a stomp in the lower belly. SP1 misses with the kick. Tony Dangerous rebounds off the ropes and crashes and burns. Meanwhile, Gary Galaxy rounds up Scotty Priest, hangs him up the top rope. Tony Dangerous goes with a wheelbarrow DDT on the prototype. Gary Galaxy catches a knee to the arm. A clothesline from SP1 on Tony Dangerous. Gary Galaxy rolls out to the floor. Scotty Priest goes to work on Tony Dangerous. The prototype on the outside, SP1 going under the apron for a little something extra, comes back with a kendo stick. Tony Dangerous doing a little bit of showboat now, catches one in the back with that kendo stick from Scotty Priest. Priest disarmed. SP1 delivers a kick to the midsection on Tony Dangerous. Gary Galaxy back up on his feet and back in action here. Gary Galaxy brains SP1 with that kendo stick. Suddenly disarmed, catches a shot in the midsection. Tony Dangerous with a Hurricane Rana on Scotty Priest. Goes behind on Gary Galaxy. German release suplex. SP1 goes to the outside. Beautiful moonsault from Tony Dangerous. Man, these cruiserweights are cool. Oh, man, over the top rope. Taking down Gary Galaxy as SP1 rounds up the cruiserweight champion. Scotty Priest catches some elbows to the midsection from Gary Galaxy. Tony Dangerous with another Hurricane Rana on Gary Galaxy on the outside. Again, no countouts and no DQs. SP1 rolled back into the ring. Tony Dangerous Rounded up by Gary Galaxy, driven into the barricade. Catches a kick to the midsection from Tony. SP1 decides to join the fray, comes out, gets caught up from behind by Tony Dangerous, says, "Get back inside that ring, boy." Over the top rope. Tony Dangerous misses with the drop kick. SP1 rebounds off the ropes and a beautiful drop kick takes Tony Dangerous down. SP1 takes himself to the outside. Tony Dangerous stays inside. There's a moonsault on Gary Galaxy, who hasn't moved since. Back up on his feet. Rounds up. SP1 catches a kick to the midsection. Tony crashes and burns as SP1 says he should not have done that. Hard right to Tony Dangerous. Tony counters with a kick to the midsection. Gary Galaxy quickly rounding up Scotty Priest. Pitches Priest into the barricade. Tony Dangerous pitches Gary Galaxy towards the ring steps. Nails SP1 with a right before turning his attention back to Gary Galaxy. Both men miss with their drop kicks. Tony nails him with one running drop kick. Doing a little bit of showing off here. A collision between the two. SP1 still connected to that barricade. Can't seem to get his act together. SP1 still out of action here as Tony Dangerous is rolled back inside the ring by Gary Galaxy. Priest finally comes out of it. Whoa! Three-way collision practically. Kick to the midsection from Gary. Tony Dangerous opens up with a series of shots. An elbow to the face of Gary Galaxy. Priest goes behind on Galaxy. A suplex with a pin. Oh, man, Tony Dangerous right there to break up that pin. As Gary Galaxy comes out, comes back in for a reset. Tony Dangerous with a kick to the midsection. Winds up the arm on Gary Galaxy, and he's going to take Gary for a little walk. Off the top rope. Beautiful Japanese arm drag. SP1 steps out, goes back under the ring. He has been going after under the ring for all kinds of stuff. Comes back with another candlestick. Here's a cover. But no, SP1 right there to break it up. Gary Galaxy makes his way back to a standing position. Tony Dangerous with a reverse Hurricane Rana on Gary Galaxy as Priest rounds up another candlestick. Gary whips Tony to the ropes. Misses with his move. Priest nails Tony Dangerous not once but twice but three times with that candlestick before Gary Galaxy takes him down. Priest covered. One. But Tony Dangerous right there to break up the pin again. Tony locks up Gary Galaxy. Hard whip to the ropes. Another Hurricane Runner from the lightning fast one. SP1 rounds up Tony Dangerous. Rebounds him off the ropes. Big time spine buster from SP1. That's a heavyweight move from a cruiserweight right there. Gary Galaxy catches a kick to the back from SP1 and a moonsault. Tony Dangerous finally gets his act together. Here's the cover, one. But again, only a one. Tony Dangerous living up to that lightning fast nickname. Look at this right here. Oh, here we go. Saluted us all with a cover. Oh, man. Gary Galaxy right there to break that pin up, too. Man. Oh, drop kick takes Tony Dangerous down. Gary Galaxy rounds up Tony Dangerous. Tony counters with a right. SP1 getting back up on his feet. Gary Galaxy whipped to the ropes. Tony Dangerous with a pretty nice move right there, but didn't do too much. Gary Galaxy takes Priest down to the canvas. A flying kick from Tony Dangerous takes Gary Galaxy down as Tony steps out, rounds up one of those kendo sticks. Scotty Priest moves in on Tony, nails him with a right. Pitches him towards the ramp. And again, SP1 weapon shopping again. Rounds up a chair this time, but catches a Hurricane Rana from Tony. Gary Galaxy still laid out inside the ring. Tony Dangerous with an elbow to the face of Scotty Priest as Gary Galaxy gets back up on his feet. SP1. Oh man, drove him head first into the ring post. I will not sing the song on that one. Gary Galaxy feeling a little bit smug here as Tony Dangerous goes behind on him, winds up both arms. Look at this right here. Whoa! Gary Galaxy countering a bulldog here as SP1 swings that chair, nails Gary Galaxy right in the head. Gary Galaxy laid out as Tony Dangerous goes behind on SP1, gets rolled back inside the ring. SP1, Scotty Priest on a roll here, kick to the midsection to Gary Galaxy. Has him up. Whoa! Beautiful move right there on the outside. Tony Dangerous biding his time, waiting for an opportunity. Gary Galaxy sent towards the ramp, an elbow from Scotty Priest to Tony Dangerous. Tony driven right into the barricades as SP1 rounds up that chair again and starts to go to town. Disarmed quickly by Tony Dangerous. Gary Galaxy rocking and reeling like an inflatable toy in the wind. SP1 with a kick to the midsection to Tony Dangerous. SP1 driven further away from the ring, but there are no countouts, so no big deal. Tony Dangerous goes behind, drops both knees into the back of Gary Galaxy. SP1 back in action here. Sets it up and, oh man, what a nasty shot right there. From SP1 to Tony Dangerous, a drop kick from Gary Galaxy. Galaxy's got the chair now. Rains SP1 across the skull with it. Tony Dangerous rolls Gary back inside the ring. Scotty Priest rolls out of the way of Tony Dangerous, but still catches a flying kick. Gary off the wall, man, he crashes and burns. Gary Galaxy messes up on the high-risk maneuver. SP1 avoiding the middle rope break there. Tony Dangerous goes behind on SP1, drops both knees into his back. Gary Galaxy got that kendo stick again. And Tony quickly disarms him again with another Hurricane Rana. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2, almost. That's as near to a near fall as we've had so far. SP1 laid out on the outside. Tony Dangerous rounds up Gary. Look at this. Whoa, Gary Galaxy with a quick sweep of the leg here. Here's a cover. 1, 2, another near fall. But no dice. Tony Dangerous powering out of the pin as Gary Galaxy takes himself out. Whoa, Tony Dangerous through the ropes. Nails Gary Galaxy on the outside, takes him down. SP1 with a beautiful tilt-a-whirl on Tony Dangerous. A standing drop kick from Gary Galaxy on SP1. Tony Dangerous misses with his move. SP1 and Gary Galaxy mixing it up here. Beautiful flipping slam from Gary. The prototype caught up by Tony Dangerous into a wheelbarrow DDT. Starts going to work on SP1 again. Lines him up. There's a neckbreaker drop on the outside. Galaxy with the kendo stick again, but quickly disarmed. Tony Dangerous nails him with the dangerous measures. Here's a cover and a hook of both legs. 1, 2, 3, and well held now. Tony Dangerous picking up a win in this three-way matchup.
The time, 9 minutes and 5 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Tony Dangerous.
Guys, I won't kid you, that was extremely difficult to keep up with. These cruiserweights move so fast. And speaking of moving fast, the lightning fast Tony Dangerous picking up a pretty impressive win in this three-way matchup over cruiserweight champion Gary Galaxy by pinfall, leaving SP1 Scotty Priest out in the cold.
Our resident wrestling superhero picking up a second consecutive win with this match, and he's determined to get himself a title shot against Gary Galaxy, and it looks like Gary may have to concede that Tony Dangerous has earned one after that impressive win in a difficult-to-win triple threat match.
Back with more in a minute.